Hello, I'm Kevin Calder. I'm a commercial and procurement partner at Mills and Reeve with a particular focus on IT contracting. And welcome to this MBL webinar on contract drafting in the public sector, key issues and legal considerations. We're going to spend about 60 minutes today on this session, and you should have materials available for download. These slides are available to you via MBL. The course today is going to cover a number of aims as set out on the slide. And it's very important to note that this is a fast-moving area. There is a new regime in force from 24th of February 2025, the Procurement Act 2023. But for legacy contracts, the old regime, the Public Contracts Regulations 2015, will continue. So we've got a dual track legislative landscape at the moment, which is not necessarily perhaps the simple regime that was hoped for when the new Procurement Act came in. We frequently see new guidance issued by the government in this area, and regular updates to standard contracts. So it's very important to check and update any precedents you use regularly and to keep on top of the latest information. But we're going to cover all of the topics shown on this slide today. And so in terms of what is in scope, we're going to be looking at public sector contracts. For the UK public sector, some of what I'll cover is relevant only to England. Most of the provisions we're going to talk about apply to the government, so whether you work for the government or are contracting with the government. But many of the issues also apply to the wider public sector, so the NHS, local government, universities, and so on. We're going to look at standard form contracts, some of the standard forms, what they cover, what they can be used for. We're then going to go and look at some key contract provisions. We're going to go through some of the provisions that are relevant specifically to public sector contracting, look at why they are included, and cover some drafting points to be aware of. In terms of what's not in scope today, this is not a general boilerplate talk, so we're not going to look at non-public sector specific boilerplate. We also will talk a bit, as I mentioned earlier, about the public procurement legislation, but this is not a talk about the public procurement procedures, so we won't cover supplier selection under the procurement regime. We're also not going to look at specialist contracts within the public sector, such as construction contracts, where we don't have time today to cover those in detail.